Stop losing leads. Okay, we are on day 3 of our Make Your Marketing Work series. And today I really want to hone in on talking about conversions, but really from the aspect of understanding your client, your potential client's journey through your business and through the front doors of your business, whether that's online or in a brick and mortar. Because one thing that's for sure is, I am, I don't need to preach to the choir here, but you know how important it is to guide your clients to their health journey, ensuring that they feel, empowered and supported all along the way. But have you ever thought about applying that same level of care and attention to your business's customer journey for potential clients? Because one thing that we see a lot of times, especially with a lot of the people that we work with, is they come in and they feel frustrated. They feel let down by other marketing companies. They feel like they did a poor job or they got them crappy leads. And one thing that we also see as we dig deeper in is that they also just don't. Part of the reason why health and wellness companies feel frustrated is that they actually don't have a good nurture process for new leads. And so it feels like the leads are never converting. And so it's not just about the destination of their health goals, but the journey before they ever make the decision to work with you on that health transformation. So my name is Elia Fashron, and I'm the co-founder of Move, Think, Smile. And we're going to go over ways to make your marketing work today. As we dive deeper into this, I want you to think about, have you ever actually mapped out how leads move through your process and move through your marketing? So how do they discover your company on social media? What happens when they sign up for things like free guides, short videos, or webinars? What happens when they book a consult call? And of course, when they enroll in your program or services. Now, these might sound like obvious questions, but what I tend to find over and over is that people do not have a detailed, mapped out process for these. And a lot of times they're doing very broad strokes on these and they're losing people in the small nuances of their journey. So I really want to make sure that you're clear on what your potential clients are feeling at each stage of the journey as they move through the process of your marketing. Because what's also really important is you understand that they could be feeling a lot of things along the way. So it's not just about convincing them that you're an expert. It's not just about convincing them that you can fix this problem, but it's also about all the feelings that they're having about fixing this problem and trying to make that decision of who to help and if you're the right person. And so they can move through a whole variety of feelings as they're moving through your marketing. So it could be curiosity and hope when they first find your brand. It could be in excitement and of course, anticipation when they sign up for your freebie. Of course, they might be nervous and feeling a little bit vulnerable to book a call. They might not be sure that they want to take that step yet. And so it's really, important for you to help them feel comfortable in taking that next step. And of course, there's after they enroll in your services, they could have a lot of determination and commitment. And of course, pride and thankfulness and gratitude when they start to see results. But, we move through a process of emotions, whether we've become your client or not. And it's really important to understand and just take a look at that from a potential leads perspective. And so there's a key to identifying the make or break moments along the way. So the bad news is there are a lot of make or break moments, especially, it depends on how complicated your marketing is and how many ways that people can come in to experience your company. But the good news is you don't have to be perfect. You can just keep working to improve that experience. You tackle things one thing at a time. And of course, not all at the same time, because that can be super overwhelming. So you want to simply do what you can consistently over time to improve your process. And getting a bird's eye view really helps. And so by a bird's eye view, what I actually mean is to actually map this out using a flowchart. Now, you might think you already know the journey in your mind. You're like, Elio, why do I even need to take time to do this? But I promise you, when you map it out, you're going to be surprised and pleasantly surprised by the ways that you can find little loopholes and maybe little holes in the bucket as far as your funnel is concerned. So let me show you an example of what I mean. Let's take a look at this basic journey. So let's say you help people lower their A1C naturally. I want you to think about putting your entire company into a flowchart. So, really looking to see, all right, what type of marketing strategies are in place right now? Are you using Meta ads, LinkedIn advertising, Google ads? Do you have a YouTube channel, websites? Do you have a Facebook page, right? Map out the ads that you have. So, one thing that I see over and over and over again when people come in and they have worked with other marketing companies before, we ask to see their ad stats or we ask to see their ads or their copy, and they don't even know where any of that stuff is. They don't have the information. They don't know exactly what ads are running. They're just expecting this company to bring them leads. So make sure that you have links and you know exactly where and how to find all of your ads. And then you want to map out, okay, how is my potential client moving through this process? Are they going to a Facebook group? Are they going to a short video where I'm giving them a direct ask to, reach out to my company and inquire more? Am I using a cold outreach strategy? And if so, in either of these strategies or any of them, what is the actual process that the client is moving through? So is there an opt-in page, join group questions or an instruction page? What are those questions specifically? What happens when they come into your group? Where does the human outreach start? And exactly what happens in that human outreach? And again, map each of these steps out for any of the various funnels that you have. And you're going to be able to see, okay, what could my potential client be feeling at this moment? Are they feeling hesitant to book a call? And if so, or to even just to reach out and make an inquiry, like what could I do to really help warm them up? What could I do to help them feel safe, to feel comfortable? And so it's really important to have a couple different avenues for your marketing so that people can experience your company in a couple different ways. One way we have found to be really powerful is, of course, to have a Facebook group. Now, we don't just use a Facebook group. We actually have a lot of other funnels going on at one time. But a Facebook group or something like a Facebook group, doesn't have to be on Facebook, can allow people to join a group and allow people to see some of your content and to see you and to really hear you speaking about a topic and see you and experience you from a safe distance. And then, of course, I want you to think about how many times you've seen someone and you either really have a connection with them or you don't. You either have an idea, you're like, I'd really like to talk to this person, or they've intrigued me, or I think this could be a potential, or no, this person is not. And so having those videos and having that content will really help people make that connection with you, and will help them either warm them up right away or it'll have them bounce. And if they bounce, that's a good thing because it just means they're connecting with you anyways. And then, of course, I want you to walk through your welcome automations. So what's happening when people enter through your business, or if they enter through a lead magnet? What types of emails are they getting sent? And what happens when people open them or don't open them, or take action or don't take action? Do you know this? Now, a lot of people might have another company doing this for them, but they have zero idea about what's happening. One thing that I would really recommend is either do this yourself or ask the company to do this for you, just so you can kind of have a visual view of what's happening with your emails. Now, most of the time you can go into an email service like ActiveCampaign or Go High Level or other places like that and actually see the automation and flows. But it's really nice to be able to see all of this together in one place, because you can't see this entire process in an email automation. You can't see it from start all the way to finish. Now, the next thing you want to look at is the booked call or the walk-in process. What actually happens here? How many touch points are you having? So again, this will really be eye-opening to see this from a bird's eye view of what's going on in your business. Now, the other thing that's important here is, you could have multiple offers. So again, you could do this for each offer that you have. So let's say you help people lower their A1C, but you also help women with infertility, and you also have a weight loss offer. Make sure that you have separate flows for each of these so you can make sure that each person is moving through the process, and that you have the differences laid out for what each person needs. And so I really want to encourage you to do this. If you want some help in doing this, or if you actually want this as a template to at least be able to get yourself started somewhere, just, sign up to Miro. If you don't already have an account, you can get 3 free boards, I believe, with your free account. If you add me to it, I will absolutely cut and paste this right into a board for you, and you'll be able to start moving things around in here and start adding them and making it just your own. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to have a new respect of how you could improve your potential new clients' experience of you. And ultimately, as I said, what we're really talking about here is conversions, right? Better conversions. Each point in the journey hinges on your ability to meet the client's needs and exceed their expectations. And I can't tell you the number of people that will say things like, oh, the leads are all bad. They brought me a bunch of people, but they were terrible and they didn't do anything. And you really have to ask yourself, did the people coming to you actually have the problem that you helped solve? And if so, then yes, they were great leads, but they didn't have enough of a nurture process. So you really want to ask yourself, do I just not have a great nurture sequence in the process of experiencing my company, both before they reach out and, of course, after they've made that initial reach out? Because in every step, you have the chance to build trust and rapport. You have the opportunity to show empathy and understanding, which is really important with health issues. And you can offer a clear path forward, which is also really key because, of course, tons of people with health issues just they can feel really confused. There's so much information out there that they have to digest, and trying to figure out how to get on the right path can be really overwhelming. So if you nail those moments with your potential clients, they will feel heard, supported, and motivated to take the next step. But if you miss the mark, they might look elsewhere. So how do you ensure that you're meeting your potential clients' needs at that critical juncture? Well, you just got to put yourself in your shoes, and you've got to do this high level flow. And you've got to listen to what your potential clients are saying. If you have a sales team or a front desk, or if it's just you, listen to what everyone is saying. It's going to be really powerful in your entire process. You want to stop trying to sell and start getting ready to just be deeply curious about what brought them to you and what was the thing that pushed them over the edge to say yes to have a conversation with you, and then to say yes again to hire you. Because it's also important to know that, well, even if you have a perfect process, you're not going to convert everyone, no matter how awesome the customer journey is. Sometimes, people are just going to get sidetracked. They're going to get interrupted. There's a multitude of things that could stop them. Or maybe there was just someone else that was like right place, right time. But if they have a good experience and interaction with your company, they will often return. And I can't tell you the number of clients we've brought in who had an initial conversation with us, ended up hiring someone else, and then ended up coming back to us because they were unhappy. So remember, it's not just about the destination of their health goals, but also the journey before they ever make the decision to work with you on that transformation. So I want you to think about putting that same level of care that you give your clients. The same level of care needs to move into that lead nurture process. And if there is one thing that I see is the most common weak point for 90% of the health and wellness companies we talk to, it's a lack of consistent touch points with their leads. So if there's one thing you take away from this, this video, or if you saw this in an email today, I want you to think about how many more touch points you can create with your potential client, and which things that you want to dive deep into when it comes to your company flow in order to help maximize your conversions that you stop losing really great potential leads. All right, that's all I have for you today, but really looking forward to hearing your comments. What was helpful about this, and what will you put into place after listening to this? And I'll see you in another training.